My name is Carolina, and your name is Sonia. Okay, very nice to meet you. So, Sonia, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Where you come from, what you do, why you want to improve your English. Okay. Okay. Excellent. So you're interviewing for international companies or both? Okay. And what exactly do? What exactly does your job entail? Do you need to speak with a lot of people, or why do you need English in your job? Okay, an electronics engineer. Okay, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And no, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Mhm. Yes, a lot. Excellent. Okay. And what for you? What are the most difficult parts of the English language? But your comprehension skills, I think you understand everything. It's just, yeah, it's just harder for you to. Okay. In English? Oh, excellent. Okay. Well, that's really difficult. Okay. In there. Okay. Fantastic. All right. So if I've understood correctly, Sanyam, what you're looking for at the moment is to do some more intensive training with interview skills. Okay. And it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I see the same thing on the other side. I'm not sure why. That doesn't usually happen. Um, so once again, yeah, you too. It's maybe do you want to try and just reload the page if we go up to the top and reload it? I will do the same. I'll do the same. Okay. Are you okay? Hold on. Wait. Let me reload. Hold on. Now okay, but now I can't see you. There you are. Okay, now I can see you. All right. No, at the moment, no. Exactly. Sometimes, it's technology. Sometimes it happens. Let's hope it stops. Okay. So then, have you done any interviews already? Okay, and how did they go? How were the first few interviews? Yes? And that was it. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, it was a different situation, I would say. Okay. So then, typically, I mean, I'm sure you're familiar in a typical interview situation. They ask you, obviously, your history, your job history, your studies, all of that. That's usually the easy part because it's just up, 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 up. The harder part is when they ask you about yourself. Like, tell me a little bit about yourself, or why are you interested in our company, uh, or where do you see yourself in 5 years? These are the questions that are, at least in my experience, much, much harder, right? So, oh my God, yes. That is the hardest question. It's a trick question. It's a trick. You have to, right. But the good news is, Danielle, that with a little bit of preparation, it's actually not that hard. And the thing is, you might have two, three, four, five, six interviews, and they will all be more or less the same. So once you really know exactly what you want to say, you practice it, it will be like this. It will be second nature to you, and you won't even have to think about it. So what I usually do with students like yourself who have a very specific goal in mind, like this, interviews, we basically create, we do a run through of the whole interview. So what does that mean? That means that we go over every single possible question they might ask you. So with my knowledge and your help, we create the kind of questions that we know they will ask you. So we have the very basic ones. Tell us about yourself and tell me about your education and these types of things. But then they have questions that are specific to your field, engineering, that only you will know. I don't know the kind of questions that they will ask you. But what we do is we write it out, we have a list of all of the questions, and then we go back and forth practicing as if it was a real interview situation. And we keep practicing, and I'll give you notes until you feel 100% comfortable with what you've got. So it's really, that part is the easier part, is Sanyam, because it's really just practice. The harder part is, of course, improving your overall level of English. That happens at a much more, at a much slower pace. Exactly. That's a longer journey. But your immediate goals are something that are, you know, in, they're not that difficult to accomplish. You're not a beginner, so it's not like you have these problems. You just need the practice of going through the interview situation. Um, that's not that difficult. Yeah. And I think for me, in my experience, the best way to achieve that level of comfort and confidence is to just practice over and over and over again. So if we were to work together, the first thing I would ask you to do is write a list of questions that are specific to your field that you think they would ask you in an interview situation. And then, of course, we'll add those questions to my questions, which are the very general questions that you will have in any interview situation. And then we start working on it. And after every lesson, I will give you some very concrete feedback so you know exactly what you need to work on. Because there might be some parts that are totally fine that you don't even need to take a look at. But there will be other sides that need some work, right? And that's what we need to focus on. Yes. Yeah, that's what I would suggest, Sanyam. But what do you think? Does that sound like something that would be useful to you? Hmm. I see what you mean. Yes. Well, in my experience, Sanyam, this is the best way forward to replicate the actual interview situation as closely as possible. That's really the best thing you can do. And then you keep practicing, practicing, practicing until you feel, and you'll know when you feel comfortable. It will click and you'll say, all right, I'm exactly. So you will know. Um, so that's what I would suggest. And as far as improving your overall level of English, the single best thing that I can recommend is practice. So even if you don't have lessons, even if you don't take lessons, you can still practice by listening. Uh, any opportunity you get, whether that's through movies, Netflix, YouTube, or reading, any way that you can get your hands on the language is perfect. But one vital component is the speaking practice. And this is where most students have issues, that they live in countries where English is not really spoken. So they can listen to English on, through the computer, through the internet, but they don't really get the chance to practice what they know. So that's where a teacher can come in handy, or group lessons, something that requires you to speak. And that's another thing that you can do, like structured conversation classes, where in every lesson you spend, 60 minutes discussing a certain topic. Um, it could be related to your field, but it could be other things as well. The point being that you spend most of the time speaking, right? Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. Uh, okay. Then that sounds like a long one. My goodness. So it's stressful. All right. Okay. So yeah, yeah. Now, Sanya, where are you based now? Where do you live? In which city? Which city? I didn't hear. Sorry. Cleanest. And what is the name of the city? Indoor. Ah, okay. Is it a bigger city or a smaller city? Medium size. Okay, and what do you like about living there? It must be fantastic. Yeah, that's it. I've never been to India, Sanyam, but it's a country I would love to visit one day. Um, I have heard a lot of wonderful things about it, and I've had a lot of friends who visited, but unfortunately, I haven't had the chance yet. Yeah, the pandemic exactly. The pandemic has made travel almost impossible, or at least it makes you think twice before you travel, right? Did you did you travel a lot before the pandemic? Mhm. You like traveling too? Okay. Uh-huh. Well, well, yeah, that's a great way of traveling. You can travel on a budget and see. Right. That's a good idea. Are you really? Wow. Well, that's fantastic. And what about the cost of living in general? If you're just a normal person with a normal job, is per month a median? Okay, yeah. Okay, well, here I'm based in Greece right now. Um, Greece, yeah, we're located in Greece. And here it is. It's a beautiful country. We have a lot of problems here, but it's also a beautiful country. But yes, we also, I mean, we were, and we still are actually in the midst of an economic crisis. So life here has also been very difficult. The average salary has dropped dramatically. Um, so, an average salary for a normal job is also 600 euros. It's people are struggling here as well at the moment. So, and then the pandemic came right after that, and two very big problems all rolled up into one. So it's been difficult, but like you said, you can try and live on a budget and still travel, still see the world. It's possible. Yes. Do the math. So that's pretty amazing. There's always a way, Sanyam. Where, the saying in English, where there's a will, there's a way. So that's it. And now tell me, you said for the job interviews, are you looking for a job in your country or are you looking at going abroad? I can imagine. Why would you want to leave, right? Yeah. Yeah. And I imagine you have your family there? Really, do you? Well, that's nice because when you travel to visit that, you can go and visit them and maybe stay with them. Bad idea. That's not a bad idea either. All right. Okay, well, Sonia, do you have any questions for me? Anything that you would like to know about the lessons? Anything you'd like to know about, or any questions you have about Verbling? Anything you'd like to know? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. Okay, that's okay. Well, look, what I will do is think about everything I've told you. You can always send me a message on Verbling. Um, in the window. I'm in front of the computer almost all day, so I see my messages quite quickly. And if you think of any other questions. Well, it really depends on. We would need to see how your interview skills are to begin with, and then we could see how much work, let's say, you really need. Um, I don't think, I mean, Sanyam, I don't think it's a problem with your level of English. I think you won't have any problems with that. I think you just need maybe a few lessons just to review what you want to say and practice. Maybe just, I don't know, three or four lessons would be enough to practice everything, feel comfortable and confident. I don't think, you might even be able to do it in less than that. It's not, not rocket science. We're not trying to do anything crazy here. We just want to get you comfortable enough to go into that interview, express yourself comfortably and confidently. Um, and I think you already know, I think, what you want to say. We just need to practice it. Uh, so I don't think that requires a lot of time. Now, in terms of, yeah, yeah, I mean that would be more than enough. Sangram. You don't need more than that. Not for an interview situation. Now, if you're looking at an overall, you want to improve your English overall in the long term, that's a different situation. But for now, for what you're talking about, you don't need many lessons at all, Sanyam. It's just a matter of practice, targeted practice. Yeah. Oh, maybe. Do you want to go ahead? It's okay. It might be important. Yeah. So it's okay. Go ahead. I don't want. Okay. I it could be important, Sanya, but they will call back. It is. It is. It is. Absolutely. Well, no, Sanya. As I said before, if you think of anything else, if you have any other questions, anything else you'd like to know, or maybe in an hour you remember something, just send me a message. Send me, and I'll write you back. But in the meantime, keep in mind, if you do eventually want to work together, slowly come up with some key questions they will ask you. Okay. uh, in the interview. Because remember, I don't know the world of engineering at all. So it would be very difficult for me to know exactly the kind of questions they will ask for your field. What I can do is make a list of the questions for the general interview part. And what you can do is slowly think of the specific questions they'll ask you about your field. And that's the way we would begin anyways. All right? Super. Well, Sanyam, it was very nice to meet you. And That's it. Thank you. And well, I hope to see you soon again. And it's time. Fantastic. Well, I definitely hope to see you soon. And I wish you, of course, a wonderful start to your week. Enjoy, enjoy. And if you have any questions, send me a message. All right. Thank you, Sanyam. It was very nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad. Take care, Sanyam. See you soon. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao. I say ciao, ciao. That's a Greek thing, though. Bye, bye.